But it's this one consensus thing that just spans the whole world, and you can use it to interconnect everyone with anything, everywhere, safely, transparently, and there's no manipulation ever to be done in that. And when I realized that, through, like, researching Ethereum, the blockchain, smart contracts, I was like, yeah, that's some serious stuff right there.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Girl Gone Crypto. I am really excited to have ETHbox here on the show to dive into everything that they're building. So today we have Paul Simode, the co-founder and CTO. So Paul, thanks so much for taking the time to join me today.
Thanks for having me over, Leah, today. Thank you so much.
Just to kick off, give us a high-level overview of what ETHbox is, and then we'll just kind of dive into it from there.
Yeah, sure thing. So basically the whole idea with ETHbox, you can laugh if you want, but the whole idea with ETHbox started when one of us three founders, Lucas, not pointing any fingers or anything here, but one of his first transactions in crypto, it was the last transaction. So basically he somehow sent it to a wallet address of his that he didn't have ownership over anymore, and poof, there went the funds. You know how it goes. Exactly.
That's
And
heartbreaking.
yeah, exactly. But he went on. He went on and he became a great trader and investor and everything. So it didn't break his spirit, obviously. And after that, like actually quite a while after that, he came up to me with the idea of, do you think we can do something about that? Like me being the developing guy behind ETHbox, and we're currently in the process of onboarding others, but for now I've been the only one developing it. And so yeah, I was like, he had this idea if we could somehow prevent the whole thing from happening. If he told me about smart contracts, like at the time I was not in crypto myself, I've been developing, programming, all kinds of stuff, but haven't gotten into crypto. And then it explained to me the whole situation, like the way the blockchain works. I started diving into it myself and was really super fascinated by this world of technology that's out there for us to use and make great things of it. And obviously the answer was yes, there is something that can be done about it. And that's how we came up with the general idea of ETHbox, which is in the first place, it enables users to send funds safely from A to B. So instead of sending funds directly, and maybe there is no B and it just goes poof wherever, you have ETHbox in the middle. So basically I can use this for showing. You just send it to ETHbox and then from ETHbox it goes to the other side, which if ever something should go wrong, enables you to just take your funds back as if nothing happens. People send funds through ETHbox with the passphrase they choose. And if you figure out, oh, that was the wrong address, or oh, I didn't mean to send 100 ethers, only 10 ethers, only 1 ether, whatever, you can just take it back. You give the passphrase only when you're done. So when you're sure that everything has worked out correctly, and then the other party can receive your funds. If for some reason you find out that something's not okay, you can just take it back, try again, minus the transaction fee, but that's neglectable.
Right.
So that's basically, that was the core idea of the whole thing. And then we instantly expanding that. There's a lot more coming, but the things that we also have right now is the OTC trading feature, which basically means that when you send funds to someone, you can also request something back in exchange, which is super simple and super straightforward, like the whole thing that we're doing, because it's just one click away and you have safe OTC trading through a smart contract that's been audited. So there's absolutely nothing that can go wrong. And sorry,
no, I was just gonna. I was just wanted to dive into a little bit before we go deeper on like how that works. That's why I'm excited to have you specifically on as the CTO and kind of the main developer for this. We can actually dive into more of the technical aspects. So, I just kind of want to walk through the exact process. So let's say that I send funds. So here's ETHbox in the middle. Is ETHbox a custodial platform? Are you guys holding the funds in a custodial way? Is that how you're able to, like, what's the time frame? Like, what if I realize like 3 hours later I sent it to the wrong address? Is it too late? Has it already gone on? Like, I guess kind of walk us through from a consumer user standpoint what all that looks like.
Like that, even though you're pretending to be asking from a consumer user standpoint, you still ask about the technical details. So that's +1 for you in that one. So yeah, there's actually different concepts for that. There would have also been the possibility of leaving the funds in users' wallets and only, like by making the user generate a transaction that's not signed yet and then sign it and then it's sent. But we chose not to do it that way. We chose to actually, when someone sends something through ETHbox, the funds are deposited inside the ETHbox, so the user doesn't have the funds anymore. This makes sure that we're actually in control of what's happening. I mean, the smart contract is basically we're not involved in any way. So the ETHbox smart contract is actually in control of what's happening, and there's no way anyone can interfere with that. The smart contract has not been made open source yet, but only for the reason that we want to deter copycats, because ETHbox is really simple and straightforward in its essence. So we don't want a copy-paste thing happening. And it has already been audited by our partners at Certic Security, Certic Foundation, sorry. And obviously we'll be making it open source when we get to mainnet. So basically, yeah, users put funds inside the ETHbox smart contract. The addresses get stored together with a hashed passphrase. And when someone comes to pick the thing up, sends the passphrase gets hashed, compared, and if it's the correct passphrase and also the correct address, obviously validated through MetaMask, for example, you get to take the funds. And about the thing you said with the 3 hours later, yeah, imagine like you send too much or whatever, you send to a wrong address. And 3 hours later, you realize the mistake. You can just take back the whole thing, because ideally there is no one on the other end. And if there was like a malevolent third party there waiting for someone to mistakenly send funds or whatever, highly unlikely, but hey, why not? You still would have sent the passphrase, because you need to be authenticated with the address and the passphrase in order to get the funds.
Got it. Oh, this is so interesting, because I think one of the scariest things for people that are new to crypto and diving in is like, what if I send it to the wrong address? Even like I've been in crypto for like 4 years, and I still like every time I send a transaction, I'm like, okay, did I double check everything? And so I guess my next question would be like, what coins are supported in this? Obviously you guys are named ETHbox, so like, is it pretty much any ERC20 Ethereum kind of based token, or how does that work?
Can I just add a little thing to the previous question before I dive into that? Because about the main things that I mentioned was like the safe sending, OTC, and there's also one more thing that's really super interesting to people. We've been told that a lot, is the added privacy. So basically, just by using ETHbox, just by sending, instead of sending from A to B and having this transaction clearly on Etherscan, it goes to ETHbox, and that's where the chain ends, basically. So instead of seeing, okay, this guy sent that guy some funds, you just see this guy sent ETHbox some funds, and there it ends. And then the other guy's like, okay, this guy got some funds from ETHbox, but you can't be like, these two go together. You can't know that. And we're also working on an added privacy thing where it encrypts everything and stores only the hashes of the transaction. Possibly even going to extend that with ZK Snarks, looking into that right now. So people don't know anything of what's going on. Like even for people paying out payrolls and that kind of stuff, this is a really interesting thing.
Wow, yeah, that's a huge value add that I think a lot of people would be interested in. And so in terms of coins that are supported, let's circle back to that.
Exactly. So, yeah, good thinking with the where's it, ETH thing, but it's more of a like the general idea of something thing. We started off on the Ethereum blockchain, obviously, and as of now, we have a testnet beta running up on our website at ethbox.org. You can check it out if you want. It's free to play around with, and it basically does all the things that our mainnet's going to do, minus a few more features that are upcoming. And it's already supporting Ether and ERC20 tokens. One big thing, like all of them, if you say ERC20, it's all of them. And one really big thing that a lot of people have been asking about, and that's been on our roadmap also, and so we're going to have this ready before mainnet, definitely, is NFTs, obviously. NFTs are like the latest hype and everyone's crazy about it. And I think personally, from a technical standpoint, NFTs can do really great things. Like the idea of having a token that's not, okay, this and this and this, and it's like 3 times the same token. We have this token, it's one, and this is one, and this is one, and each of them is unique. I think that's really a great thing. Like you can do extra magic with that. And also on top of that, obviously we're going to be extending to all the other chains out there, like not all of them, but the ones that make sense. We've been looking towards Polkadot, obviously, for example, and either like one way, how to express this properly? In one regard, because of like evading Ethereum gas fees and everything, going off-chain and interconnecting the thing in a safe way. And on the other side, obviously, because the Ethereum blockchain is not everything that's going on.
So I guess here's kind of an interesting question now that you mention fees, which is all of our favorite topic, is so you would be generating additional fees to go through ETHbox, correct? Because you've got this transaction and this transaction, but the trade-off is obviously the more like peace of mind, and then like you said, even more of like the anonymity of who you're sending to. So that makes sense. So another thing I want to just kind of touch on quickly is so aside from being this kind of service that you are offering to people, you
Mhm.
guys do also have the eBox token, and so
Mhm.
maybe just tell us a little bit about a little bit on like the maybe the tokenomics of that, but also what role it
Mhm.
plays in the ETHbox ecosystem.
I think those two go together pretty much. I hope I didn't misunderstand anything there. Our idea was when we created the token, obviously it's gonna be something that like helps users do stuff, like not just create a token and like here's the token, buy it, give us money. We don't do that kind of thing.
Mhm.
Um, so basically, the ETHbox token has four distinct use cases. One of which I think that's yeah. I mean, actually, they're all pretty interesting. Actually, I was going to say that's the most interesting one, but forget about that. So one of which is obviously the fee reduction. So we have you asked about that before. We already have a really low fee. Actually, it's like you can check it on our website. Something in the ballpark of 1 to 2%. It gets up to 3% when using privacy and OTC, but that's actually the highest we're going to be charging. So basically, it's around 1% for normal users. But when you have the ETHbox token, there's a few tiers. Basically, you get a pretty big discount on the fee. And on the same page, I also have to mention and give a shout out to our partners like DuckDAO, because everyone holding DuckDAO totens is also going to get an extra discount on the fee.
Oh, nice. That's a lot of people. So that's exciting.
Yeah, we totally have to honor our backgrounds and we want to do it. Like they helped us start this whole thing off. They were the first ones to believe in us and be like, hey guys, do it. So we're getting something back here. And one thing is obviously the reduced service fee. Then people are going to get a payout from the fee we're generating. Like 25% of the fee we're generating is going to be straight paid out to the people. Then we're going to use part of the fee to buy back ETHbox and burn them to create a deflationary system that's going to increase the token, like the token value in the long term. And the fourth one was governance. So basically, if you have ETHbox token, you actually governance, staking, liquidity provider bonus, and all that kind of stuff. We're working on the governance right now. We're gonna be holding our newest, governance voting next week at the latest. And staking is up already, so everybody who's holding 5,000 ETHbox or above is actually participating in staking already. We did something. I'm not sure if it's new, but the way I came to know of, usually staking requires you to lock your tokens in some place,
Right.
and usually you can trust those people and things and smart contracts and everything, but why do you have to? We figured we wouldn't want to force people to lock their tokens away from themselves. So just keep them in your wallets. And we've been analyzing the blockchain ever since, analyzing and protocolizing everything ever since we launched our tokens. So we know exactly who has been transferring how much to whom at which point. And by that, we can tell you exactly who has been having 5,000 ETHbox on which day and so on and so forth. So basically just get staking by holding it in your wallet. So
Nice. That's pretty cool because yeah, that's staking is usually that trade-off of like, okay, I'm gonna get a higher yield, but I have to lock up my funds. And so that's cool you guys are taking a little different approach to that. And so
right.
in terms of, I just think this was kind of interesting because we were chatting about this, before we started the interview. Was like, so your co-founders were, like really into crypto, but you were a little skeptical of crypto, and then here you are being a co-founder of a crypto project. What was that journey kind of like? Like, what kind of made it click for you to where you decided to kind of move over and start working here in the blockchain space?
Yeah, that's actually, I like how the whole story of ETHbox has all of these little, details that make it so much more human and, graspable somehow. Is that, I've been developing stuff and engineering all kinds of things for all my life. Like, I'm the kind of kid who's been taking things apart at one age and then, at the next stage, putting them back together and then later on also improving upon them. Electronics, motorcycle engines, computers, everything, basically. And I've been coding C assembler stuff ever since I was a kid and doing all kinds of stuff like security related stuff mostly. But blockchain and the whole crypto thing has always been I know it's there, but you guys, you play with your things and I play with my things. And that's cool. And Lucas and Lucas, they've always been talking about, what's going on in crypto. This goes up, this goes down, trading, investing, blah, blah, blah. And I was so not interested in that. Like I'm personally, I'm not an investor person. Obviously I like free money, but who doesn't? But I don't think like that. So I actually, yeah. And the whole clicking thing started when Lucas came up to me and asked me about what we can do about this, missending funds problem. And when I started diving into the blockchain technology myself, because in order to be programming a smart contract and to figure what the whole thing does, I mean, I could have just copy pasted something, but I don't do it. I want to understand what's going on. I mean, that's what fascinates me. And yeah, when I started getting down with the blockchain and realizing what the whole thing actually is, that the meaning of blockchain, put simple, is like one computer that runs across all the world. So it's like millions, or I don't know how many nodes. And what they produce is one result, this one thing, the consensus that produced by the blockchain, which you can use to be stating, okay, this guy has this much money, this guy has this much money, blah, blah, and so on and so forth. But it's this one consensus thing that just spans the whole world. And you can use it to interconnect everyone with anything, everywhere, safely, transparently, and there's no manipulation ever to be done in that. And when I realized that, like, researching Ethereum, the blockchain, smart contracts, I was like, yeah, that's some serious stuff right there. So I'm actually literally in it for the tech, literally.
Right. That's awesome. So I just always love hearing people's stories. I think it's really interesting. We're all in this kind of crazy world here together, and I think we all kind of came in from different angles. And so just to kind of wrap up the interview, I'd love to hear what the ETHbox team is currently working on, what you guys are really excited about, and what's just kind of coming down the road next for you guys.
Yeah, sure thing. Like, I don't even know where to start because there's a lot of stuff to do. We're currently almost finished with our first roadmap, saying first here because we have a second one in the making. The one we published in the white paper, pretty much everything of that's done. One absolute big thing that's not news, but everyone's looking forward to that is our mainnet release, which is coming up this quarter. So basically that means June or something, maybe June or something around that. We'll also, right now we're working on the governance feature, so we'll be holding our first governance votes, also not requiring anyone to log anything, just hold it. That's that. We'll have a liquidity provider bonus upcoming. Pancake swap, just saying. But yeah, we'll be announcing that in due time. That's something that's going to happen in the next few days. And obviously Nfts. Obviously, so this is something we're going to implement this before we get to mainnet. We're currently working on a new website. And we're having a community member do that with us, for us, whatever. We're working together there. And it's super nice because we knew we had to onboard people at some point, but there's always the hassle with, finding people that feel the whole thing, someone who feels what you're doing, not just someone, okay, take my money, do this, I don't care. That doesn't resonate with us, doesn't work out properly. And then there was this one guy, Fredo, shout out to you. There was this one guy who just started, solving problems by himself and taking apart the JavaScript of the website and everything and saying hey, there's a mistake there, there's a mistake, and I've already fixed it. And we're like, hey, we have our man right here in front of us. We didn't know it, but we have our man right here in front of us. And we're doing the website together with him. We'll be launching it in the next about a week or something. And this also has brought us to the idea that the people we've been looking for, they might just be right in front of us all the time. So we're going to be offering everything that we need some help on to our community in the first place, because there's a lot of competent people there that we've seen so far. So.
Oh, I love that. I think that's so fun when you can involve your community and stuff. And then, yeah, like you said, they get the mission of what you guys are doing because they're already on board. And yeah, that's actually really fun. So
that matters so much. It's not just an emotional thing. It is a lot of an emotional thing. But, we need competent people. And for me personally, I'm the one selecting the people for developing and everything, basically. For me personally, someone's being competent in doing something is something that you only achieve when you care about it. You can do a job for someone for money, but it's the money you care about. But if it's a thing you care about, you do a whole different thing. And
yeah, absolutely. Well, I think that is a really fun note to sign off on. So, Paul, I will put the links below for everything ETHbox related. But if someone's watching this interview and they want to look into you guys more and check it out, where's the next best place for them to go?
Obviously, our website at ETHbox.org. And there you have all the links you need, like the Telegram, Twitter, everything. Join our Telegram channel, both the official one and the official announcements channel. We also have a testnet channel, so if anyone wants to play around with the testnet data and need someone for sending tokens, or maybe if you find a problem or something, there hasn't been a single bug so far in the smart contract. Just saying, people have been testing a lot, but no bugs whatsoever. Join our Telegram channels and stay tuned for more. And once we have the new website up, there's also going to be a new section in the website.
Awesome. Well, Paul, thank you so much for taking the time to come on the show today. It's been awesome to have you on and just get to learn more about ETHbox. So thank you again.
Pleasure's all on my side. Thank you.